Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a rowdy couple in love that loves reacting to some RWBY.
Rowdy for RWBY.
Yeah, and so this is Volume 5, Episode 3. If you want all of our RWBY reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
That's like a nice place.
Mm-hmm. Good vacation spot.
Yeah.
I like this place. Thank you.
That was a cool final shot.
Yeah. You get an F on this paper.
Are you ready?
Yes. It won't be easy for the people to hear, but the truth often isn't. I know they'll do the right thing.
You got this.
That's what you needed to hear, son. Good job. You're what really gave him the strength.
Coming to us live and now speaking to us in the state where former White Fang leader. She's always a government.
Thank you all for assembling here. I wanted to take time to address some of the rumors that have been circulating around our island. I believe that it is important for the people of this territory to understand the truth. No matter how you feel about the human race, I think we can all agree that the event now known as the Fall of Beacon was a tragedy. A tragedy that will set both man and faunus kind back. While the main aggressor is still unknown, we do have official confirmation that Adam Taurus, the leader of a powerful splinter group working inside the White Fang, was partially responsible for these attacks. His actions not only tarnish the reputation of an organization originally created to bring peace and equality to all, but to our entire race. With each day that this man remains unpunished, it becomes increasingly difficult to condemn those that look down upon us.
Arrest him.
Recently, a spy from this same splinter group set their sights on this very home. My own daughter, Blake, and her friend did their very best to apprehend this individual. While they were unsuccessful after being physically assaulted and seriously injured, they were successful in obtaining the assailant's scroll. With this, we have been able to ascertain that Adam Taurus has plans to overthrow the current leader of the White Fang, Sienna Khan, and take over the reins himself.
A little late.
Yeah, doesn't plan anymore, dude.
His radical plans do not stop there. The documents on this scroll proclaim his next target to be Haven Academy and its attached CCT tower. Their plan is to strike on the last full moon before the beginning of the fall semester, roughly 2 months from today. I have sent my swiftest messenger to the government of Mistral, but I believe we have a greater responsibility. My relationship with the White Fang has been an interesting one.
That's one way to put it.
Years ago, I led the organization to help try and create a world where I and every Faunus who wished could walk alongside the human race. And while I believe we made great strides toward this goal, it was made clear to me that the people both in and out of the White Fang wanted faster results. So I stepped down, and Sienna Khan was appointed as my successor. It's true that I do not fully condone many of her methods. What I do condone is what Sienna fights for. The idea that the Faunus and humans are, and should be, equal. Adam Taurus does not seem to have that goal in mind.
Definitely not.
What he has done benefits no one but himself. I think it's time that the Faunus showed the world that we are equals. Time that we snuff out this splinter group and restore the White Fang to what it once was.
Good speech.
To do this, I think the answer is clear.
He didn't even use his notes.
We must go to Haven and protect it at all costs.
Clapping slowly dies down.
Yeah.
Before we proceed any further, I'd like to invite my daughter to come and share her story. Not only as a former member of the White Fang, but also as a survivor of the fall of Beacon. You can do this.
You got it. You got it, Blake.
Elia.
Cowards. After everything the humans have done to us, everything they've put us through, you're asking us to help them?
I know we haven't been treated fairly.
Where was their help when the dust companies treated our people like slaves? Where was their help when kingdoms hunted Faunus just for being who they are? Where was my help when my parents were killed in a dust mine? Where?
Young lady, progress takes patience and cooperation.
The Belladonnas are the worst kind of Faunus. They want us to work with the same people that are trying to hold us down. If you truly, truly want to help your people, now is the time to support Adam, not the Belladonnas. He will bring about the future that you deserve. And if you are unwilling to fight, know that the White Fang will do it for you.
Shut up!
Ooh.
After her!
That was a little delayed.
They're gonna what? Prey on it?
Yeah. Why are those weenies still allowed to be in there?
Or reincarnated.
Oh, isn't it weird?
It is very weird, yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's sober.
Let's all just take a second and remember that this is very overwhelming for everyone.
Thanks. Sorry. It's just, I've never really met huntsmen and huntresses before.
Well, we've never met a person with two souls. So, first times all around.
Yep, she knows how to put you at ease.
Not to break up the whole getting to know you game, but we need to have a talk. Mind showing us your little parlor trick, kid?
Yeah, okay. Just so you know, I'll still be here.
Oh, Oz is gonna take over?
It is so very good to see you again, students.
What just happened?
Professor Ozpin? Correct. And though I may be the one speaking, Oscar is still present mentally. He's merely handed over the controls, so to speak. Just don't make us do anything embarrassing. I'm afraid this all must be very perplexing.
And alarming, and bizarre, and just really kind of hard to believe overall.
Sums it up well, Nora.
It's good to see you children still have your sense of humor. I know you've all been through tremendous hardship already.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not your fault.
It's all my fault. I told you once that I made more mistakes than any man, woman, and child on this planet. And I wasn't exaggerating. I'm cursed. For thousands of years, I have walked the surface of Remnant, living, dying, and reincarnating in the body of a like-minded soul. The Professor Ozpin you all met was not my first form.
Wow.
And clearly wasn't my last. It's an extraordinarily strenuous process on everyone involved.
So what are you?
I am the combination of countless men who have spent their lives trying to protect the people of Remnant. With every rebirth, my soul is eventually merged with another. And I am changed. But my memories stay with me. This curse was bestowed upon me by the gods because I failed to stop Salem in the past. But we must stop her now.
Oh, I've been fighting her for 1,000 years now.
And how do we do that?
We start by ensuring the safety of the Relic of Knowledge.
Well. Look who's awake.
What's going on? Where am I?
You know, I never thought I'd see a Schnee in this camp.
Vernal?
What do you want?
Straight to the point. I like it. We don't normally deal in trafficking people. Not really worth our time. But once we realized we had a Schnee, that changed.
You're going to ransom me back to my father. Is that it?
It's a shame you're a Schnee. You'd probably do quite well around here.
I would never sink to your level.
Just keep quiet and cooperate and you'll be back in your mansion before you know it.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Don't make this complicated.
What's going to make this complicated is when my sister finds out that I didn't make it to Mistral. You know my sister, don't you? Winter Schnee? Special operative of the Atlas military? She's in Mistral now, and when she hears I'm missing, it won't take her long to find me. And you.
There you go.
What's so funny?
Oh, I don't know if it's more funny or sad, but you're clearly out of the loop. Your sister isn't in Mistral anymore. No Atlas personnel are in Mistral anymore. General Ironwood closed the borders and recalled all of his little troops in tin cans. No one is coming to rescue you.
Yang will.
This is perfect! We were stuck at a dead end, but now we can just take little cute boy Austin to Lionheart and have him set things straight.
Please don't call me that.
Yeah, we're not sure that's the best idea.
But I thought the headmasters all took their orders from you.
That was the intention. 4 lieutenants I can trust, especially during times of reincarnation. But Crow told me about your meeting with Leonardo. He isn't just behaving irrationally. He's disobeying specific instructions I had left him. Something's wrong. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I don't want to rule out any possibilities either. No one outside of this room knows that I have paired with Oscar, and I think it may be best to keep it that way.
Play things close to the chest until we got a better hand.
Precisely. Now, we have 2 steps ahead of us. The first is enlisting the aid of more huntsmen.
But the Mistral Council
doesn't own every huntsman in the kingdom. And I've been here enough times to know where we can find some more.
Yeah. So long as they're trustworthy.
Bars.
You can trust them to put up a good fight. I'll throw together a list tonight.
Good luck with that.
After that, we can move on to step 2.
What's step 2?
Training.
Getting you 4 into fighting shape.
Yep.
But we already know how to fight.
You can only fight so long as you have Crescent Rose, but you're still lacking in hand-to-hand combat.
Well, yeah.
Mr. Ark, I'm glad to hear you've improved, but sorry to say you've yet to unlock your semblance. All of you still have a ways to go before you're ready to pose any real threat against Salem and her forces. And though Oscar can give me temporary control, he'll need to strengthen his body and his aura. Wait, what? He'll inherit my muscle memory in time, but practice will expedite the process.
But if Crow's out looking for huntsmen, then who's going to teach us?
Well, I believe I was the headmaster of Beacon Academy.
Nice.
We have approximately 1 month before classes resume at Haven. If Salem were to plan an attack, it would make sense that it occur prior to students' return. It's not much time, but it's better than nothing. Just don't expect me to go easy on you.
Oof.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, just a little guy. Cut the rope. All right, so what you think?
A lot going on in this episode.
Yeah.
I was pleased with Blake's father.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think, I don't know, we live in a time where sort of like loyalty, perhaps even blind loyalty, seems to supersede logic sometimes and morality. So to say I was a part of a group, I stand by what the current leader wants, but I also recognize that what's being done is wrong.
Yeah.
Is a huge act of courage. It shouldn't have to be a huge act of courage. It should be kind of a no-brainer. Those are all the fairy tales we grew up with as children, right? Step forward, do the right thing. But you become an adult and it becomes this crazy act of courage. And he had that and went out and demonstrated it brilliantly. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish we'd heard what Blake was going to say, just because I'd like to see her step into the kind of leader her father was. And is, I should say. Because I think in so many ways that's probably what drew her to the Faunus, and what drew her to Adam was fighting for what was right, for standing up for good, for standing up for her people. And so I think there's probably a really great leader in there, but we haven't really seen it be able to be put to that sort of like public test. And this would have been a great opportunity. Boundary didn't see Yang. Yeah. But I'm sure she'll be in the next one. Thank God for Nora, and the humor she brought to this episode, because there's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the episode. So
Yeah.
like, we needed Nora, and she delivered wonderfully.
This is a good season for Nora.
Yeah.
I like how when Ilya was talking, the guards that work for her father and everything like that, or like the city or the town, they're very polite because they let her finish her entire speech and run away before they were like, after her, get her, seize her. Here she comes, she interrupts, she threatens, she's riling up the crowd. You think like you try to like, get her like somewhere around that time. And then I'm just surprised at the trust, I guess, that they have in like the two White Fang that are there, that are supposed to be like, I don't know, the priests of the White Fang, or like, like monks of the White Fang that are there, that are the envoys, and just trusting that, there's a spy among us. Geez, I wonder if it's the two White Fang guys that are in this community. Could it be them? Maybe. Yeah. So I was curious about that. If you're gonna have an evil, if you're gonna have an evil plan, maybe don't put it in your iPhone. And just I wonder if like that's how it was labeled, like in notes, like okay, evil plan step 1.
I hope so. I'm not gonna lie. All in all, great episode.
Yeah.
Very strong episode for the various narratives that we're following. Another thing that I'd kind of forgotten, but that it reminded me to kind of renew that curiosity is Jean's semblance, because he still hasn't opened it.
Mm-hmm.
So very curious when he does what form that's going to take.
And also with Ozpin, does he always get reincarnated into a younger kid or whatever, or can he get transferred into an adult or someone old? I mean, does there what are the rules with that? Maybe hopefully they explain some of that as it goes on, and he's made some mistakes, yes, but he didn't really go over what mistakes it was. It was just that he was supposed to stop Salem and he didn't, so the gods cursed him to live 1,000 lives until he rights his wrong. But that only seems like one wrong that he did. And he said he's done a lot.
What I do remember Ozpin saying is that he's always brought back into someone of a similar soul.
Yeah.
So it would be curious to know, does Ozpin have the soul of a child? Because he seems a bit of an old soul to me, and some of the stuff he's seen and 1,000 years fighting, the forces of evil, kind of lends itself towards an old soul. But it would be curious, is it always a boy? Is it always young? Is it always maybe from a certain region of this world? I don't know. But it would be curious to know what, if anything, the similarities have been in the people who he has been reincarnated into.
Yeah, I feel like Nora in this moment when she was just it's crazy, it's absurd. It's going through all those different emotions of what's going on with this. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they explain it more as the series progresses, because it's definitely very interesting. I'm curious how it all works.
Yeah, for sure.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our RWBY reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a link to our Patreon there, as well as a playlist for all of our RWBY reactions here on YouTube.
Yep.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for RWBY Volume 5, Episode 3, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.